everybody, welcome back to Cosmic Life Astrology. Today we are talking about the week of February 10th through the 16th with a major focus on the Leo full moon happening on Wednesday, right in the middle of our week. We have a very interesting energy going on in the background besides the Leo full moon. So I'm going to get into that first and then talk about the full moon. We have Mars as one of the active players this week. Mars is in Cancer, still in retrograde, preparing to go direct in 2 weeks, making a trine to Saturn in Pisces. And Mars is also making a square, a loose square, to Chiron in Aries. Now, with these two energies at play, Mars connecting to Saturn and Chiron, to me, this speaks of, having trouble with having motivation, right? Mars is in retrograde, so he's already moving backwards. He's not really, being proactive, I guess you can say. And making that trine to Saturn, Saturn is, very much an energy that could be restricting energy right now, restricting your motivation. Even with a trine, Saturn could be saying, hey, you're working too hard. You need to rest, right? Because Saturn's in Pisces, and Pisces is all about rest. It's, the ruler of the 12th house. And so there could be a need to, balance how much you're working and how much you're resting. And with that trine, I feel like people are going to have the opportunity to honor that this week, because they feel like they have no choice but to do that. And I say that because of Mars squaring Chiron, right? And Chiron's in Aries, all about the self, healing the self, mending our wounds from the past. And so, it could be a challenge for us to allow ourselves time to heal, rest, recuperate. You may need to give yourself some time to reflect on things from the past with Mars in retrograde still. You may be reflecting on wounds from the past that could be challenging to overcome. And, Saturn making that trine to Mars is saying you have to. You have to relax, you have to reflect and, take a step back and restrict your energy. Don't overdo yourself, because you could fry out, if you overwork. Mars trining Saturn could very much be about, putting in the work and the energy and effort into something. And they're both in water signs. So, this is about, your emotional nature and your spiritual nature. And I think that's why, a lot of this is going to be connected to, honoring your emotions and what your spirit needs and, what your body needs. Chiron and Aries, okay? And so I wanted to preface that because that could be something that you need to honor this week to get through what could be a tumultuous week, because we have a full moon squaring Uranus. And so let's break that down. We have the Leo full moon at 24 degrees of Leo on Wednesday, February 12th. And opposing, we have the sun at 24 degrees of Aquarius. We have Ceres at 25 degrees Aquarius and Mercury at 26, I believe it is. They're all conjuncting each other, right? So we have the sun in Aquarius conjuncting Ceres and Mercury. Now, Ceres is all about nurturing, okay? Whether it's nurturing others, nurturing nature, motherhood, nurturing yourself. So again, we have this background energy of nurture, and taking care of people, whether it's yourself or others. And we have Mercury involved in this conjunction. So there could be conversations about what it is that you need, whether it's a need that you have to help nurture other people, or a need that you have to help nurture yourself, and take care of yourself. With the square to Uranus, you may need to take a different perspective, or a different approach that you weren't originally thinking about. There could be a struggle with what you need and what you value. There's definitely a potential for a lot of conversations when you have air, Mercury in an air sign making a square to Uranus, and Mercury is in Uranus's home, right? So Mercury is receptive to the Uranus energy, and so is the Sun in Ceres as well. But to me, this says that, you have Mercury, the lower mind, and Uranus, the higher mind, in conversation with each other. So I think there's going to be a lot of conversations, a lot of thoughts, and a lot of thinking, maybe problem solving, involved in what transpires this week. And with the full moon in Leo, we're thinking boldly, and we're speaking loudly about what it is that we feel, what we need. With full moon in Leo squaring Uranus in Taurus, our loyalties may be tested. Okay, so now we're going to look at this side of the fence, where the moon is. With the moon squaring Uranus, and the moon is in Leo, where, Leos are very loyal. They're very much about, the people that they love and their pack, their community. And they're very bold, and they're not afraid to speak about what they feel, what they need, what they want. And then you have Uranus and Taurus, who has been testing and changing our values over the past 7 years, right? So that's why I say our loyalties can be tested. And what you need, what you're passionate about, could be tested during this time as well. Uranus is an unpredictable factor that makes it hard to say, okay, this is exactly what you can expect from this full moon. Because Uranus can either bring shocks, surprises, some unexpected developments, or some unexpected news. There could be, a sudden change in perspective, or a change of mind about something, a sudden change in what you're valuing and what you're putting your energy and effort into, going back to that nurturing energy. And I think, it's important during this week, during this full moon, to really stay focused on what it is that you need, and understand that whatever happens, it's in line with where you're going. Because we also have Uranus making a loose sextile to the North Node. They're about 4 degrees away from perfecting, but it is still present. So the North Node is trying to pull us forward. In Pisces, we're being pulled forward towards what we're creating, what we're trying to manifest, what, our spiritual side of life, and understanding, those hidden realms that we may not have been, paying attention to, whether it be subconscious patterns, or, things that are outer worldly, right? And Uranus, being in a sextile to the North Node, wants us to innovate and, think outside the box, and is going to help us move forward with bringing change to what we're trying to manifest, or helping bring results to the things that we're trying to manifest that are going to bring greater value to our life in some way. So hopefully that all makes sense to you guys. And, I think, this is going to be, even though it's an unpredictable full moon energy, it will be very well supported if you just stay grounded about what you need, okay? Or if it's about other people in your life, just be open to what others may need, okay? Because I feel like that's the main focus, is needs, and what needs to be nurtured during this time. This could be, for some people, unexpected positive developments with love, because Leo is very passionate, and I don't want to negate that as well. So with that square to Uranus, there could be maybe a surprise, secret admirer that you find out about on Valentine's Day that suddenly asks you on a date. Now that's a great thing to happen. It's not gonna be, I can't say that this is going to be the most romantic, Valentine's Day ever. Valentine's Day shouldn't be during Aquarius season to begin with, but there could be sudden invitations that weren't expecting, to go somewhere with friends. With us being in Aquarius season and the Sun, Mercury, and Ceres in Aquarius, I could see this playing out where, there's a sudden group invitation to some kind of fun outing during this Valentine's Day week. So that could be something that some of you experience as well. But all that being said, I always take a look back during the new and full moon cycles and say, hey, look back to what you were doing, when we had the new moon in Leo, and that was in August. What seeds did you plant during that time? Are they coming to culmination during the full moon? I can tell you personally, I planted seeds in my career, my 9 to 5, during August, that I started a advancement program, and it is now coming to a finish, actually tomorrow, right before the full moon. So, if you see a connection between what you started in August and what's coming around to a close during this time, well, then you know what to expect with the full moon. And most likely it has something to do with energy and effort you put into something in order to move forward, right? Because this is all about, that nurturing energy, that putting a lot of care into something. And that sextile to the North Node, it's to pull you forward and, move you along to another chapter, right? So I hope this helps you navigate what you can expect during this week. I think it's going to be an interesting week. We'll say that, unique. And I would love to hear your stories as to what transpires for all of you during the full moon. I'm sure it's going to be very different for everybody, to say the least. So feel free to drop a comment, tell me what happens during the full moon. I do respond to all the comments. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do so. Help me grow so I can one day do this full time and talk more frequently with you guys about what's going on in the cosmos. I really do appreciate all of you. Have a great week, everybody.